When you're a therapist, one of the things that you're going to need to keep your business flowing is clients, and that can be quite hard to obtain clients in the first place. You might have to pay for advertising, you might go through word of mouth. In this video, I'm going to show you a strategy that I use that consistently, without fail, gets me clients, and it works every single time. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Therapy Business School. My name is James Taylor. Bit of housekeeping first of all. I've got a private Facebook group, also called Therapy Business School, and the link will be in the description below. That Facebook group is for either students or qualified therapists, and I do Facebook Lives in there. I give some tips and some tricks, and it's a little bit more access to me. If you'd like to join that, you just need to fill in the qualifying questions, and you're in. And it's a very nice community. So the link for that will be below. Now, the purpose of this video, getting clients can be quite difficult, especially if you're new to business. How do people know you exist? The word of mouth isn't out there yet. Maybe your website is performing great, maybe not so much. Maybe the referrals aren't coming in just yet. Maybe you're listed with certain professional directories. Whatever the case may be, it can be quite difficult. And if you're not getting clients coming into your business, potentially, worst case scenario, you're going out of business. So the purpose of this video is to talk about one particular platform I've been using since 2017, and it always, without exception, delivers. Now that platform is called Bark. Now, hang on a second. Some of you watching this video might be thinking, Bark, what a load of rubbish. I've seen loads of things on counselling forums and therapy forums that Bark is not the place to be. Let me tell you, honestly, that is not my experience at all. And I suspect that the people who are saying those kind of things on those kind of forums, if you've seen those comments, who are slating Bark off, I suspect they're saying that because it just hasn't worked for them. Now, my experience is it's always worked for me. Okay? So hold any thoughts on whether Bark is good or bad or whatever it might be. I'm going to go through a lot of things in this video, and I'm going to put the timestamps all along the bottom of this video so you can jump around. But what I would recommend is watch the video from beginning to end, because this video is going to cover a lot of things. One of the things that it's going to cover is what Bark is. Another thing it's going to cover is how it works. Another thing I'm going to talk about is how to get clients generally. And also, the big one is the strategy I use. And I'm going to go into a lot of detail for you to steal, borrow, do whatever you want with it, because it works for me every single time. Okay? So there's a lot to do. So let me show you what Bark is. Now, Bark.com is a platform that professionals can join, and they might be wedding photographers on there, gardeners, plumbers, bricklayers, whatever it might be. And the reason it's such a good thing is, from a client's perspective and from a therapy client perspective, they may be suffering with anxiety or stress or whatever it might be. And they might do a Google search, counsellor near me, and hopefully you're one of the mix that Google provides to the client. But they've got to do a lot of the legwork themselves. With Bark, it stops all the legwork. The client, they call them a lead on Bark. So from now on, instead of saying client or potential client, I'll just call them a lead. So the lead fills out a form with Bark. Bark then look at that form, and it's like an algorithm. Depending on what the answers are, they will determine whether their professionals on their platform can help the lead with what they want help with. If they can, then the wheels are kicking. And I'm going to show you what it looks like from a therapy perspective. So I'm going to show you my profile. I'm going to show you how to fill the profile out and some little tips and tricks and the exact strategy I use. Okay? So let's have a look at the Bark platform. Now, when you join Bark, it's completely free to join. You pay later on, and I'll go through that. But when you first join Bark, what you've got to do is you've got to start filling out your profile. Now you can see my profile here. I've got 92 hires on Bark. That's the name of my company here. And I've been with Bark since, I looked before just to make sure for the sake of this video, and I've been with Bark since October 2017. There is no way I would stay with a company and pay them monthly. I pay them money. I wouldn't stay there if I wasn't making money back. Okay, so what you need to do is you start filling out your profile, and if you look along the top here, you can have, there's an about page, there's photos, videos. The reviews is really good. If you have a Google My Business page, or you have a Facebook page, or any other social media, if clients have left reviews on those pages or those platforms, when you're completing your profile, if you put down the link for that profile, what Bark will do, it will pull all those reviews in, and then you have a list of reviews just like this. So the likes of this one here, this is one that came from Bark itself, and this is why I've been able, my reply is on here. You can see this one here. This one has been reviewed on Google Maps, so that's why I haven't replied on the Bark platform, because it wasn't a Bark review. So you fill out your profile and you fill out all the details, and it's just a step-by-step. It tells you what to do. Now when you've done that, you've fleshed out your profile, you put your website down there, you can put your qualifications, Bark check to make sure that you're qualified. Okay, so that's a big one, because they only want professionals on here. Now when your profile is complete and you've filled all the bits and bobs out across the top, it comes up with these Q&As, and these questions here are questions that Bark just apply to every profile, and then you can fill them out depending on what your answer is. So it's your voice, it's your message, it's your modality, how you operate. So you make it very personal. So when you've done that, the next stage is to go and buy credits. Now to explain what I mean by this, it doesn't work out to this ratio, but let's say for instance, 1 credit equates to £1. Now when a client fills out their referral sheet, or a lead fills out their referral sheet, depending on how they answer, the Bark algorithm will work out how much will it cost the therapist, how many credits will it cost the therapist to contact that lead. And I've seen it range from between 4 credits up to 13 credits. And for some businesses not therapy related, I've got other friends who are on Bark in different areas of business, and their credits can be like 20 credits depending on what it might be. But the Bark algorithm kicks in, and it comes up with a list of, it comes up with a quote of how many credits it'll be to contact that lead. Now there's an extra feature that Bark has just released, and I'm going to cover that later on, but that also impacts the credits, so we'll get to that as well. Okay. Now when a client fills out the details, Bark will send that client, or I should say lead. So when a lead fills out the details, sends it to Bark, Bark then reply to the lead, and then that lead has to reply back to Bark. When they do that, Bark are now happy that that lead is genuine. They're happy that the mobile phone number is correct and the email is correct. Now I'm going to block out part of my screen for confidentiality reasons, but this is what a lead page would look like. Now this lead here, they're looking for relationship and marriage counselling. It tells you their geographical location. It gives you part of their mobile number. You see that it's got the green tick next to it. That means that it's verified. You can see part of the email address. Now this bit is important here. Only 5 professionals are able to respond to a lead. And the reason that Bark do that is so the lead doesn't get bombarded with 20 different therapists trying to contact them, which is probably going to add a bit of stress onto a situation that's already a little bit too stressful. Okay, so only 5 can respond, and when therapists respond, these boxes here turn green, and when 5 have replied, the lead is no longer present. Now, looking down the referral sheet, you can see for some reason Bark is charging 4 credits only for this lead. And let's have a little look and see if we can figure out why. So with the details, this is what they want. They want to communicate better, conflict resolution, more intimacy and passion, rebuilding trust. Are you both seeking counselling? Yes, we are. Any day available. They've done a particular time. How many sessions as recommended by the professional? Would you consider online or remote counselling? Yes. And the additional details, struggle fulfilling each other's needs in the relationship. Okay. Now, for some reason, when they've answered these questions, Barco said, okay, that's 4 credits. Okay. But let's have a look at another lead and we can see if the credits are the same, if others have responded, and if the number is verified. Now, on this one here, this is someone who's looking for counselling. The number has not been verified. Now, looking over here, that lead came in an hour ago from the time of making this video. Okay, so they've put an inquiry into Bark, an hour's gone by, they still haven't verified the number. So we don't know whether there's a mistake in the number, whether they missed a digit out by accident. You can see here that one professional has responded because there's a little green tick. There's a little green box highlighted. This one is 9 credits. Now, they're looking for help with depression. The service is for them. Have they had counselling before? Yes. Would you consider online? Yes. Would you like counselling to start as soon as possible? Available any day. Ideally late afternoon. And they're ready to hire now. But for some reason, this is 9 credits. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what about do I work face to face? Because I work online only. What about do I work face to face? How would that work? Really, really easy. What you do is you go into the settings and you go into my locations. Now here, this box here, these are the different types of therapy that I offer on the Bark platform. And this is like a drop down box. You pick it and then you highlight a bit more and a bit more. Now, with the locations here, when I first set up my Bark account, I was renting an office in London. I was in Harley Street. So I did within 5 miles of Oxford Circus, which was the nearest train station or tube station to Harley Street. But when COVID struck, that moved the goalposts entirely. So what I did, and this is the reason I went online, now I do nationwide. So all I did was I added my location as nationwide to the Bark platform. And just like this top one here, within 5 miles of Oxford Circus, you can be within 10 miles of your location. So if you're working face to face only, you don't want to be, if you're in Cornwall, you don't want to lead that's in Scotland if you're face to face only. So what you can do is you can change that within the settings itself and pick a geographical location, put a certain mile perimeter around that location, and the only leads that you will get are those that tick that box. So that's really easy to do. If you do a mixture of in-person and online, or if you do just online, as I do, go nationwide. All right? That way, anywhere in the country, it's fair game, and someone can contact you. And one of the things I found with Bark is that I've worked with people all over the UK, also internationally, but that's not with Bark. But I've worked with people all over the UK who I never would have met, and Bark have sent them to me. Now, on the main dashboard of the Bark platform, because I've got certain criteria in play, where we were in the settings before, I don't want clients or I don't want leads being sent to me who are asking for a female therapist only, because it's a waste of time. And I don't want leads being sent to me who are looking for the lead. They're not asking for themselves, they're looking for help for another person. I don't want those leads sent to me anyway, because let's say Jane is contacted Bach, and Jane's contacted Bach because her husband, John, is suffering with anxiety. Well, I don't know if John wants the help. Jane wants him to get help, definitely, but I don't know if John wants it for himself. So I've, on my criteria, well, in the settings, I've filtered out the details of if someone wants a female therapist only, I don't want to be shown the lead. If someone wants the help for another person, I don't want to see the lead. And there's a few other things that I've done with a few of the other settings, but on that alone, it's estimated on Bach that I will get 100 leads a day. Okay? Now, the good thing about this is that if you go and looking for leads yourself for your business, you've got to do all the legwork. You've got to maybe make a Facebook post, or if you're on Twitter, which is now X, you've got to make a post there. Maybe you're on Instagram, maybe TikTok, maybe you want to do some Google adverts, maybe some Facebook adverts, maybe you want to get an article in a magazine, maybe you want something on a display board somewhere, maybe you want to get on a newsletter. You've got to do all the legwork. With Bach, you don't have to do any of that. All you do is fill out your profile, put down who you work with, when you work, and then Bach do all the work. And they send you potential leads. And then you assess whether you want to contact that lead or not. And I think it's wonderful. It's not the answer to the universe, but nothing is. But the pros definitely outweigh the cons. And I'll probably do a summary at the end of what the pros and the cons are of the Bach platform. Okay? So let's have a look at a few more of the things. Now, you might be wondering, well, how much does it cost? How much is it going to cost me for these leads? On this page here, remember, they use credits for leads, okay? So on here, on this page, you can see about 30 credits is going to get you about 5 responses, and that's £51 excluding VAT. Now, the more credits you buy, the better rate you get. All right, and I should mention, by the way, Bach have not asked me to do this video, and I'm not on any payment from Bach for doing this video. Bach don't even know I'm doing this video. Okay, so I'm just doing this. I've done a video on this before, but this is like an updated version. All right, so I should have put that out there earlier. So if you go for 10 responses, you're going to get 5% off, and if you go for 20 responses, you get 15% off. Now, if you do join, and I would encourage you to join, and I've also got a bit of an offer for you as well, where you get something a bit extra if you do. If you do join, Bach have got a bit of an offer on. And the way it works is this, and I checked this out today before I did this video to make sure my information was up to speed. If you buy a load of credits with Bach, and you go through all your credits and you haven't had one client, what Bach can do, they can offer you to work with someone with Bach, and they will try and identify, why aren't you getting clients with our platform? You should be getting loads. And what they will do is, instead of you having to buy more credits, the ones you bought, they'll give you them all back. They give you all the credits back, and you get advice off a Bach expert, because they want to ensure that you get work, because if you do, you stick around on the platform. And that's why I've been there since October 2017, because this has always worked for me. Always. All right. Now, another thing that happens when you join the Bach platform, if you buy a load of credits, you'll be involved in an email every now and again, and they might say, buy a credit bundle, 50% off. So what I tend to do is I wait for those emails to come in, and it's 50% off, and I'll buy a load of credits then. So that's how it works for me. Now, a few extra things, a few upsells that Bach have, and one of them I would say is really good. One of them I would say avoid. On the settings page, there's a thing here called Bach Verified. And I've tried this, and I didn't notice much difference. And basically, it's £20 a month that you pay to get this badge, and it goes on your profile. I didn't really see the benefits of that. It says why become BARC verified. You get a BARC endorsement, gain trust and confidence, increase your chances of being hired, less than £1 a day. I tried that out. I didn't notice any difference at all. So I wouldn't recommend the BARC verified aspect, but there is another one that I would absolutely recommend. And it's one called an Elite Pro. Now you pay for this service. Now with the Elite Pro, it says here, you get a highlighted profile, so you stand out. The public contact details for customers, so they can contact you directly. Now this is a real good one, because what that means is, if a lead is on BARC and sees your details, if you're just like a regular member of BARC, they can request a quote off you via the BARC system. They can ask you to get in touch, whatever it might be. And then if you respond to them, you use your part of your credits. With an Elite Pro, that misses that out entirely. So they can contact you away from the BARC platform, and then you can speak to them away from the BARC platform, and then you haven't used any of your credits. So that's another benefit of being an Elite Pro, and I've been an Elite Pro for a while. Expert one-to-one coaching for more account optimization specialists. If you're having problems setting up your account, they'll help you out. Exclusive discounts available only to Elite Pros, and I've used that, and you get the benefit of that as well. And you get high quality backlinks that increase your ranking on search engines and improve visibility in search. What that means in normal language is that when your profile is listed with BARC, BARC sort of like BARC put like a little bit of code on their website that's linked to your website, and these two little bits of code. Imagine two sides of a riverbank, and this code creates like a little bridge across, but it also connects that bridge to Google as well. And what that does, that ups your credibility from a Google perspective. So Google now know, oh, this isn't just a standalone Joe Blogs therapist website. You're Joe Blogs, but you're also linked to BARC. And BARC spend a huge amount of money on this service. So again, that's another benefit that you don't have to worry about. So now you're tied in with a company that spends a lot of money on this exact thing. So that's one of the other perks of being an Elite Pro. But there's more that they've just brought out. BARC have just brought out a thing, and it's in its beta stage at the moment. And what this feature is, it's called inquiries. So let's say the lead is looking for help. What they can do, instead of just putting themselves on BARC and hoping someone gets in touch, they might see your profile. And if you're an Elite Pro, they can then book a consultation with you. And what you do at your end on the BARC platform, you mark up on your diary when you're available and when you're not. And when that lead, so imagine the lead thinks, oh, I like the look of James, I wouldn't mind having a chat, I wonder when he's available. They can actually book their own consultation, the date and the time of their own consultation, which is fantastic because it means they're taking a step for that. Now, if they do that, whatever the credits are for that lead, then that comes off your account. But one of the perks of being an Elite Pro, and this is a new thing that BARC have just brought out, one of the perks of being an Elite Pro is that if a lead hasn't had any responses within 48 hours, BARC will give you 5 free responses for those leads only. So you might use your credits for other leads, but if there's a lead on there that hasn't had any response within 48 hours, it sends you the list. If you are going to do this, become an Elite Pro. Now the cost of that is about £23.94 a month, but I think it's worth it. Because one client, think about it this way, if you get one client from BARC, not only, and you see that client for, let's say, 10 sessions for the sake of argument, that one client will not only pay for all the credits you bought, For the payment of the £23.94 for the Elite Pro, it will pay for all of that and big profit for yourself. Now, another thing I should mention, you might be asking, well, how do I get paid? One of the good things about Bark is that 100% of what the client pays comes to you. So if you charge, I don't know, £70 per session, you agree that with your client. When you have the session, you get your £70. You don't pay Bark any money, so 100% of it is yours. So that's another good thing I think about Bark. I could talk about Bark for a long time, and I know this is going to be a longer than normal video. I hope you're keeping up, and I hope I'm answering the questions as they're popping into your head as they're going along. But it's not the answer to the universe, but I think Bark is a really, really good fit. And this is why it always baffles me when I see such negativity on other forums, and I'm thinking, well, you must be doing something that I'm not doing. You must be doing something incorrect if it's not working for you. Because what I do works for me every time. So that seems like a perfect way to go into, what do I do to get clients? Let's have a look at that. Now, this is why it's important, and if you've just come to this bit, you might want to have to go back and watch part of the other video, because this is why it's important to set up your settings in your profile correctly. So Bark only send you the leads that you're interested in. If you're a guy watching this and the lead is saying, I only want to work with women, well, you don't want to be sent that lead, and vice versa. Okay? Or it might be, I only want it within 5 miles of my home address. Well, if you only work online, you don't want to be seeing that lead anyway. So it's important that in your settings, and it leads you through this when you fill out your profile, it's super important that you become very, very clear on, am I going to exclude, if someone says they want face-to-face only and you're online, you basically just untick that box. So what Bark do then, they won't send you anyone who is insisting face-to-face only, okay? So here's what I do, here's the strategy I use to get clients, and feel free to steal this. So there's a few things I check out for when they first come in. Looking at this particular lead here, and I've just refreshed the page, and I'm obviously blanking out some of the page for confidentiality reasons. So this person here, their mobile number, it's verified in the little green tick. It came in 11 minutes ago, so it's nice and recent. What I've found is, if you want to strike while the iron's hot, okay? But the mobile number is confirmed. So far, no professionals have responded. So if I were to respond, I'd be the first one. So that's another tick in the box for me. It's going to cost me 9 credits. Now let me just scroll down. It says here they've got a high hiring intent, they've verified the phone number, and they're a frequent user of Bark, apparently. That is what they want help for. Anxiety and stress, depression, PTSD, relationships. Yes, it's for them. Do you have a preference for the gender of the therapist? They don't mind. The female, would you consider online? Yes. Once a week. I'm definitely going to hire someone. Okay? Now this came in 11 minutes ago. So what I'm going to do is, I want to click on the box so you can see what it looks like as we go through. So I'll click on the box, and then it takes me to this page. Now everything changes. Now I'm able to see the full phone number because I've paid for the lead. I'm also able to see the person's email. Obviously this is blanked out for the purposes of this. And here's what I can do. I can either give them a call, I can send them a WhatsApp, I can send them an email, I can send them a text message, I can send them an estimate. And what will happen is that Bark have automatically sent my details to this lead. But still I need to do what I need to do at my end. So here's the steps that I do, and I won't do it while I'm recording this video. I'll do it after this video. But here's the steps I'm going to do. First things first, if I want to send that person a text message, and this is what I tend to do. So if I was going to send them an SMS, I can either send them a custom SMS, which I've made myself earlier, or I can use the template. So let's say I was going to use the template. Intro message, preview and edit. And there's my message. Let's change that. Let Grammarly kick in and sort out the grammar. Now you can see here, you only get 800 characters, and this very, very short message here that I've done, I've used 642 characters. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to send them a text message via the Bark system. I'm going to press send. Now here's another thing to do. I will then send that person a text message from my mobile to their mobile. And in that text message, there'll be a number of different things. The very first thing I'm going to do is make note of what they're coming for help with. Okay, so if I go to what they wanted help with, I go to the lead details. Now they're saying anxiety, stress, depression, PTSD, and relationship. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that in the text message I send them, I'm going to mention those things in the message. So the text message might be, I see you're looking for some help because you're suffering with anxiety and stress. And what else is on there? And you're also suffering from depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll explain who I am. I'll explain what I do. And I say that I offer a free 30-minute consultation. So that's a longer text message, more characters than I could put on the Bark response. But I send a text message to the client or potential client from my mobile phone. Now, another thing I'll send them as well, and this is something for those of you can easily do yourself, I send them a video. And the video is something that I've pre-recorded and it sits on my YouTube channel, but the general public can't see it. But I send the client that video link as a text message. And in that video link, it just says, hello, my name's James. I've just sent you a message from Bark. I offer a free consultation. And it's so they can see me, because I'm working online only. And I think people connect with people as opposed to a cold text message out the blue. So if I can send them a video as well, I find that really helps. Now, the third text message I send them is a link to my booking system for a free 30-minute consultation. And I'll do all that within the space of a few minutes. So I'll purchase the lead as long as it hits the criteria. I'll purchase the lead. I'll send them one reply via Bark, and then I'll send them a text message which I type, answer them what they're looking for help with. I will then send them a video message straight after. And right after that, I will send them the booking link to book a 30-minute consultation. Then I go back onto the Bark app and I will do a very short reply. Hi, Joe Blogs. I've just sent you a text message with more details on it, and also a link to book a free consultation. Please check that out. If you have any questions, just ask. Now, I will then wait and see whether that person gets in touch with me. I don't just call them. If someone was looking for a plumber, if I was a plumber and someone was looking for a plumber, I wouldn't have a problem just calling them, or if he wants an electrician. But with therapy, I don't know if I just call them out the blue. They might be sitting around having a Sunday roast with the family and the mobile phone goes and it's me. And that could be quite embarrassing, so I don't do that. So I send them text messages first of all, and then I'll wait. And depending on how I'm feeling at the moment, I might try it like 5 hours later, 10 hours later, 12 hours later, 24 hours later. Now, if that person then books a consultation with me, I get a notification and then we're good to go. All right. So that's the strategy that I use with Bach. So let me have a little think about what are the pros and cons of Bach. So the pros, I would say, are they do all the legwork for you. That's a big one. They do all the legwork. They're sending the leads to me. And you saw before, with the settings I've got in place, it's probably about 100 leads a day I'll get sent. So they send the leads to me. Another one is 100% of what the client pays, I get to keep. So that's a good thing as well. Another benefit is because I'm an elite pro, I'm getting them extra perks of them 5 free responses to people who haven't had a response yet after 48 hours of putting in. I also get extra discount on credits when I buy them. And that's a big bonus as well. Because if we can save money, it's great to save money. Another bonus, because of this backlinking thing that it does, it links me to the Bark system, which is great for a Google search. Another great thing it does, it pulls in all the reviews from different places I've got them and puts it all on the one platform, which boosts your credibility. So if you've got some reviews on Google, it will pull them over to Bark. So it's fantastic. Now the cons. Here's a real con. It's a numbers game. Not everyone you contact is going to get in touch. And that can be quite frustrating. You might get ghosted by some of these leads. And that's a real problem as well, because you think, I think I can really help this person. And you'll pay your credits and you'll send your message out and you might try and give them a call and you just get ghosted. So it's a numbers game. Now here's the ratio I've found works for me. If I reply to 10 leads, 8 of them, 7, 8, I'm not going to hear from. But I'm probably going to get a reply back from 2 or 3. Okay, so it's around that kind of ratio for myself. Out of the 2 or 3, we'll have a consultation. On the back of the consultation, I'll probably get to work with 1 or 2 of the clients. So worst case scenario, out of 10 leads, I work with 1. But it could be even better. Out of the 10 leads I've replied to, I end up working with 2. So this is why Bark has always worked for me. And I'm going to stay with Bark as long as it continues to work for me. Like I mentioned before, I've been with Bark since October 2017. That's when I first joined. And I didn't really know much about it. And then I saw all this negativity on different forums and I was thinking, that's not my experience. I'm having a fantastic time with Bark. Another good thing as well, the Bark support is really good. So suppose you reply to a lead and they've said in the referral sheet it's for them. And when you speak to them, it's not. Using the example before of Joan makes the inquiry and it's really for husband John. Well, if I have a chat with Joan and it's really for husband John and she didn't say that in the referral sheet, if I contact support, they refund me the credits because I wouldn't have responded to Joan if she'd have been completely legit on the referral sheet. And Bark just give me back the credits. That's no problem at all. So there's definitely more pros than cons, but it is a numbers game. But I've got a bit of a bonus for you. If you wanted to join Bark, and if you've got this far on the video, thank you for sticking around. If you want to join Bark, I've got a link in the description. Now, full transparency, if you click on that link to join Bark, Bark will give you 2 free responses to contact 2 different leads. But because you've used that link, they also give me 2 free responses as well. So you get something and I get something, right? But I hope this long video has helped answer some questions you might have had about Bark and whether you think it's legit or not. I found it legit. And honestly, if I didn't get money from this, I wouldn't use it. I've tried things before and said, no, it's not for me. It doesn't work. It doesn't mean it's no good, it's just not working for me personally. Bark always works for me. And I can guarantee if I spend £100 on Bach, I'm probably getting £400-500 back easily every time. Because all I need out of the 10 leads, because it's a numbers game, all I need is the 10 leads for 1 or 2 to come on board, even just 1, I'll make all my money back and then some. Okay? So I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you are interested in joining Bach, as I say, there's a link in the description below for you to check out. And also in that description, there's the link for the free Facebook group, also called Therapy Business School. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please remember to give the like, the share, the thumbs up, and the subscribe, and all that juicy stuff. It really does help because it tells YouTube this kind of content is worth sharing around, and that really does help. It helps the channel more than you can imagine. All right. So my name is James, and I'm going to put my tongue in a bucket of water, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.